for joining me this morning. So we find ourselves in a very unique, unprecedented time in our life experience. We have been isolated, we have been living in spaces of at the minimum uncertainty, and at the other end of that spectrum, ultimate fear and concern. So I find myself this morning ready and excited to practice, a little unsure of what it was I wanted to share with all of you this morning. And all of that kind of has me just thinking, what is it I can control? Because typically that's my biggest challenge, is trying to find ways to control the outcome. So I think last week in my practice, or in our practice together, I shared that the intention is more important than the outcome. So let's just start with that. Let's just start with what brought us to our mats this morning, and from whatever that is, let's practice. Let's see if we can simply let go of the need to control the experience and simply receive the experience as it comes to us in this moment. So I'm so excited to be back here in the gym. It's a little strange to be here by myself, but I'm excited because it feels like home. And so I'm happy to be practicing here. I hope wherever you are equally happy to be practicing. So let's just begin. Let's just begin with intention. So I'm going to invite you first to come to a simple seated position on your mat, and if it feels better for you to lay down, then go ahead and lay down. Of course, we always want to be intuitive with our practice, listen to our own bodies, and really move and experience the practice as it comes to each one of us, adjusting as we need to through the practice today. So find a place where you can get comfortable. Find a place where you can close your eyes, and for at least this next hour, you can let go. You can let go of that external experience, and you can simply allow yourself to exist in the moment. Close your eyes. Gently bring your body into alignment, taking note, if you're seated, where your rib cage is, maybe allowing the rib cage to come over the hips, taking note of where the shoulders are. Let's lift those shoulders up. Relax those shoulder blades down the back. Find a little bit of ease in the body and length in the spine, and soften the chin. Gently draw that belly button in to help support the alignment in our bodies. But even in this simple position, allow yourself to find a space of comfort, find a space of ease, find a space of steadiness. And then breathe, because perhaps through all of that, we've let go of an intention of watching our breath. So breathe. Take a nice deep inhale, filling the body with breath. And then exhale and completely release. Let go of all of the breath. Good. Just do that a few more times to help you be a little bit more focused on your breath and your body and that connection. So inhaling, filling the body with breath. And exhaling and releasing. Just a couple more breaths like that, nice and long, nice and deep. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. Inhaling, filling up. And exhaling, letting go. And then just let the breath find a natural, smooth, easy rhythm. I'm going to take just a moment or two to tap into that inner resource, to consider what our intention, our purpose is in coming to our mat today. Just continuing to observe our breath, perhaps noticing our thoughts as they enter our mind, allowing the thoughts to simply drift through our mind, giving ourselves permission to stay fully focused on each moment. And using that breath this morning to relax the body and to calm and center the mind and the spirit. And as we begin our practice, let's allow again an opportunity to come to a place that's free of any competition, that's free of any judgment, and that's free of any expectation. With your eyes still softly closed, take one more full and complete breath, inhaling, filling the body, and exhaling, letting go. Beautiful. Let's slowly open our eyes. So remaining seated, but if you have your ankles crossed, then go ahead and switch that cross of the ankles. Switch the pattern up just a little bit. Find a comfortable seat. So check out where those sit bones are, connected to your cushion or connected to your mat, and then bring some alignment into your body. So rib cage over the hips, shoulders over the ribs, head over the shoulders, or ears over the shoulders, lengthening up through the crown of the head, softening that chin, drawing it gently towards the chest, tucking that tummy in. Beautiful. Let's just begin with a little bit of shoulder rolls. So inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhaling back and down. A few more times like that. Inhaling up. And exhaling back. One more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling back. Beautiful. So now as the shoulder blades are starting to seat into a more neutral position, let's switch that up. Typically we don't want to do a lot of forward rounding, but let's just kind of get into a little bit of lubrication of that shoulder joint. So lift the shoulders up and then roll and round forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll and round forward. See if you can get your spine involved. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now hold right here. Allow your hands to come to your shins. Lean back a little bit. It's like you're pressing your shins into your hands and your hands into your shins. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Round out your spine. And breathe. Awesome. Slowly come to that seated position. Bring the ribs over the hips, shoulders over the ribs. Lift the shoulders up. Release those shoulder blades down the back. Let's sweep our hands behind our back, fingertips pointing towards the glutes. Draw those shoulder blades together, squeezing those shoulder blades gently together. Lift the heart, gaze forward, or release the head and neck back, as long as that feels okay. So again, listening to your own body, being intuitive with your practice. As you open the chest, stretch those biceps, gazing forward or releasing back to open the throat. Good, and then slowly come back, seated nice and tall. Let's bring our hands to rest on our shins or our thighs and just move through a gentle cat and cow. So exhale, tucking and rounding that spine. Inhale, lifting up, chest moving forward, gaze lifting. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Inhale, lifting up. Good, 2 more like that. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Inhale, lifting up. One last time. Exhale, tucking and rounding. And inhale, lifting up. Beautiful. Again, coming back to a more neutral position, checking in with those sit bones, bringing the ribs over top of the hips, lift the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's take our arms out wide, float the arms to shoulder height as we inhale. And as we exhale, bring those forearms to touch. Inhale, reach up and look up. Heels of the hands behind the head. Inhale, stretch the triceps. Good. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, rain those fingertips down, bringing some movement into those shoulder joints. Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, forearms come to touch. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, heels of the hands behind the head, lift the elbows. Good, inhale, look up. Exhale, rain those fingertips down. And inhale, and now exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, rain those fingertips down, and one more time, inhale. Now exhale, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Good, bring your hands all the way behind your head, behind your back. Interlace your fingers, reach your hands towards the floor, draw your shoulder blades together. Gently move your hands away from your body if that feels all right. Good, and then gently bring your body forward. So think about keeping that neck in line with the spine. So the neck is just an extension of the spine. We're lengthening through the crown of the head. As we come into that chest expansion, good, keep breathing. Now, from this position, let's bring our hands forward and tiptoe our fingers forward, coming into a cross-legged forward fold. So let's just stay here for a few moments, releasing that low back, finding our breath again, maybe gently turning the head side to side, everything staying relaxed and loose. Awesome, one more breath. Slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Beautiful. Once again, we're going to switch that cross. So we've been here for a period of time. Let's switch that up. Opposite ankles, crossing in front, reestablishing that foundation, lifting the shoulders up, back, and down. Beautiful. Take the hands out wide. Inhale, reach the hands up high, and on the exhale, we're coming into a twist. So we're going to take the hands over to the right. Lengthen the spine, gentle turn, so without the need to force, simply finding our way into that first turn, first rotation of the spine. Good, with the breath, inhale, and all the way to the other side, exhale. Inhale, sit tall, maybe take it a little bit deeper on the exhale, again, just nice and gentle. Let's do that again, inhale, all the way over, exhale. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, just a little turn. Check out that spine this morning, wake everything up. Good, and again, follow the breath, inhale, and exhale. Good, inhale to lengthen, exhale to turn. Beautiful, now inhale, all the way up, exhale, other side. Going to add a little bit of movement for that shoulder again. So lengthen the spine, gentle turn. Now take that left hand, inhaling it up, exhaling it back and down, gaze following the fingers, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice little movement for the neck as well. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Now, lengthen the spine, tuck that tummy, and add that rotation. And see, just explore where you land in that gentle turn. Gaze to the side, or allowing the gaze to shift a little bit more behind you. All right. Now, follow the breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, other side. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, exhale, turn. Good. Again, paying attention to making sure that the core is engaged as we pause in the movement. Now, adding the movement for the shoulder. Inhale, these are called rainbows. Exhale, back and down, gaze follows. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, and one last time. Inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. Lengthen the spine, find all of the length first, and then add a little bit more rotation. Shift the gaze to the side or to the back. Notice how that feels in your body this morning. Inhale, exhale, now rotate all the way back to center. Awesome. All right, so unwinding our legs, I'm going to go ahead and move my cushion out of my way. And let's begin with the knees a little bit bent. So we want to come into a gentle hamstring stretch. more or less the first one of the day. So I'm going to rest my hands on my hamstrings. I'm going to roll my shoulders back and down, make sure my tummy's engaged. Bring my belly to rest on my thigh, shoulders away from my ears, and slide your heels forward. Just slide past that tape. So if your knees are a little bit bent, that's okay. So check out how that feels in your calves, how that feels in your hamstrings. Remember, be intuitive and only move into the posture where your body and your breath allows you to be in that moment. So maybe your hamstrings are a little bit tight and they're not ready to have the knees fully extended. Flex your feet. Let your heart gently move towards your feet. If you can reach your feet, that's awesome. If you need to leave your hands on your shins, that's awesome. Listen to your own body. Let's stay here for a few breaths as we release that low back. Inhaling now and exhaling. Continue to picture your body, your torso, as a vessel that holds your breath. The vessel is flexible. So draw the breath in and allow that vessel to flex as it fills. Expand and fill up, and exhale, let go of all of the breath. Maybe just one more. Expand and fill up, and exhale and let go. Good. So slowly come back, seated nice and tall, shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to keep our right leg extended, and we're going to tuck the sole of that left foot to the inner thigh. Again, we want to check in with our foundation, find those sit bones, lengthen that right leg, flex the foot, roll the shoulders away. Good, so a single leg forward fold. With that spine nice and long, tiptoe your fingers towards your foot. Again, they might just land on the shin. They might reach all the way for the sole of the foot. Allow this hip to open here like a half butterfly. Good, breathing nice and deep again, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe just one more breath. Awesome. Slowly come back to seated, nice and tall. And we're going to go ahead and switch. Left leg extends, right sole of the foot comes in. Good. So maybe just noticing one side of the body might be a little different than the other side of the body. Pay attention to that. If you have a tighter side, you might want to spend a little extra time on that tighter side. So again, finding those sit bones, lengthening the spine, softening the shoulders, engaging the muscles in the legs by flexing that foot. Bringing the heart towards the foot, tiptoe the fingers forward, so lots of length in the spine, chin softening to the chest. And breathing, finding your place here, a few breaths as we stretch the calf and the hamstring. We release the low back, and we open the right hip. Very nice, just one more breath. And again, slowly come to seated, nice and tall. Let's go ahead and bend our feet in front of us, take our hands behind our back, walk our feet out a little bit wider, and then just tick-tock the knees. So again, we always want to think about bringing movement into the body. Movement is medicine. So what can we do to be kind and friendly to our joints, to gently move and lubricate the joints so that they can help support our movement throughout the rest of our day. A couple more times, just tick-tocking those knees. Good. All right, the next time we come over to the right, we're going to let those knees drop, and we're going to shift our body. So I'm going to tuck the sole of my right foot close to my left inner thigh, and maybe tuck that left foot back in. I'm going to turn to the short side of my mat, lengthen my spine, and hinge forward. Again, coming into, this is called deer twist. So just coming into a gentle twist here. I'm going to leave the forearms on my mat to give me lots of support as I hinge sideways, a little rotation. Good, and breathe. So if it's comfortable for you to be here, stay here. If it feels better, or if it's available to you, go ahead And bring your forehead all the way down. Good, just a couple more breaths. So no hurry with our practice today. Perhaps like me, your intention is just simply to go with the flow, to let the practice evolve and come to us instead of us trying to create it or trying to force it. Good. Slowly come back to seated. Take your hands behind your back and go ahead and drop those knees now over to the left. Tuck the sole of that left foot in towards that right thigh. Maybe shift that right foot. So think of what is comfortable, what is available. Turning the body to face the short side of your mat and hinging from the hips, walking forward, coming down onto your forearms, or bringing the forehead all the way down. Let's soften and relax the shoulders. And just pause and allow gravity to take over for a few breaths. If your mind becomes distracted, simply bring your attention back to your breathing. Noticing perhaps the four parts of the breath. Notice the inhale, the pause at the top of the inhale. Notice the exhale and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. Continue to observe the breath. Come from a space that's without judgment or expectation. Again, when you're ready, walk your hands towards your body, sit up nice and tall, bend those knees in front. Interlace your fingers around your shins, give yourself a little hug, round out that spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Awesome. All right, let's transition into our tabletop, but let's come into child's pose first. So bring your big toes together, take your knees wide across your mat, take your hips back, and allow your hands to come forward. Body come down in between the thighs. So perhaps the wider the legs are apart, the more the low back releases towards the floor. Inhaling and exhaling. Awesome. Couple more breaths. Good, and then slowly come up, tabletop position. Bring your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Take a moment to draw those shoulders away from the ears and tuck your tummy. Let's move through cat and cow, bringing mobility back into the spine again. Lift the hips, drop the belly, lift the gaze and inhale. Tuck the tailbone around the back, tuck the chin and exhale. Good, move with your breath now. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, tucking and rounding. Good, inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, tucking and rounding. Good, one more time, inhaling, and exhaling. Awesome, come back to that neutral spine position. Let's come into our first downward facing dog just to stretch everything out on the back side of the body. Again, shoulders away from the ears, making sure that that tummy is tucked. Let's spread those fingers out nice and wide like starfish. Curl those toes, lift your shins off your mat. Shift your weight back now so that the belly comes close to the thighs, and then begin to straighten the legs, a little bit or a lot. Start to pedal out those heels, gently stretching the calves and the hamstrings, so no hurry, no rush, take your time. Move a little bit, move a lot, whatever your body requires this morning. Spread those fingers out wide. Press your mat forward as you lean back into the hips and the thighs. Awesome, and breathe. Maybe while we're here, a little letting go breath. So inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth, letting go on a big sigh. Yeah, that feels really good. Take it one more time. Big breath in. Fill the body with breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Awesome. All right, let's hold right here, spreading those fingers out wide. Easing the heels towards the floor, knowing that we can keep the knees as bent as we need them to be this morning. Listen to your own body. Notice what happens with your breath. Awesome. And slowly bring those knees back down. Find your way back to your tabletop position. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your tummy. Good, so we're going to begin by lifting our right leg. So we're just going to lift the shin off the mat. We're going to bring that knee towards our nose. And then we're going to take that leg out wide, reach back, and circle it around. So hip circles to lubricate that hip joint. So knee comes forward, forehead towards the knee. Take that leg out wide and circle it back. And a few more times. In and out and back and in and out and back. One more time. In and out and back. Beautiful. Watch those shoulders. All right. So take that leg out wide and extend the leg. A little bit of work here. So flexing that foot, energetically reaching through that heel. Now, take that right leg, sweep it all the way over to the left. Follow the foot down on the floor. You can stay right here, or if you like, you can walk those fingers over to that side, looking towards that right heel. You could even walk that right hand a little bit forward, soften that left elbow. Find a beautiful stretch from the right wrist all the way down to the right heel. Good, breathe. And then when you're ready, bring those hands back to center, back to neutral. And take that right foot now, sweep it all the way over to the right side. We're going to come into our gate pose. So walk your hands towards your knees. Sit up nice and tall or stand up on your knees. Inhale, sweep your hands above your head. Right hand comes to your thigh. Reach up, hinge to the side. Opening up through those ribs. Good. Inhale and exhale. Left hand comes down underneath that left shoulder. Right arm reaches straight up from the right shoulder. Awesome. And slowly bring the hands back to neutral position. Tuck that right foot in. Little cat and cow for the spine. Lift the hips, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Tuck the tailbone around the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift up and open. Exhale, tuck and round. And one more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, tuck and round. Beautiful. Back to that neutral spine position. Let's do that other side. So you're going to begin by lifting that left shin off the mat, knee to nose. Take it out wide, take it back, and circle it forward. In, out, back, and around. In, out, back, and around. One more time. In, out, back, and around. Awesome. Now, lift that left knee up to the height of your hip and extend that left leg out. Flex that foot, hold, breathe. And sweep it all the way around to the right. So once again, the ball of that foot is on the mat or on the floor. You can walk your fingers to that side if that's all right. And you could even take that left hand, reach it a little bit forward, soften that right elbow a little bit, deepen that side body stretch. Again, finding your place, listening to your body. And slowly bring our hands back to center. Now take that left leg, sweep it all the way over to the left. Walk your hands towards your knee. Stand up on that knee. Make sure that that core is engaged. Lift those shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale, reach the hands high. Releasing left hand onto the thigh. Reach up, inhale, exhale, hinge to the side. Open up through that side body, right side body. Good, inhale, exhale. Right hand underneath that right shoulder. Left hand reaches straight up from that left shoulder. Good, and bring the hands back to neutral. And tuck that foot back in. Good, so let's do a little thread the needle before we get into a little bit of a flow, and then we're gonna land back on our mat in a few moments. So shoulders back and away from the ears. Inhale, right hand reaches. Exhale, sweeping that right arm through, shoulder down to the mat. Inhale, sweep up nice and high. Exhale, weaving through. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One last time. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Hold at the bottom now. You can always tiptoe those left fingers up to the top of the mat. Stay right there. Few deep breaths. Slowly bring that left hand back. Press yourself back up, tabletop position. Shoulders away from the ears, core is engaged. Inhale, left hand high. Exhale, sweeping through. Inhale, left hand high. Exhale, sweeping through. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Allow that shoulder to land. Maybe walk the fingers forward. Perhaps deepen that stretch. Relax the shoulders. Notice how that feels in your neck. Pause and breathe. Good, and when you're ready, slide that right hand back. Press yourself back up, tabletop position. Your toes together, your knees wide. One more time to your child's pose before we shift into our flow. So hips way back, hands way forward. Easing out tension from the low back, opening the hips. Good, nice deep breaths. Awesome. Now allow your gaze to look at your hands. So your hands are reaching very far forward. Let's go ahead and spread our fingers out nice and wide. Come up onto our knees and bring our knees nice and close together. From this position, curl the toes, lift the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Lift and lower the heels. Let the head fall down in between the biceps. And just turn that head gently side to side. Keep noticing your breathing. And now looking at your hands, walk your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold. Soften the knees. Belly rests on the thighs. Head falls down. Chin tucks. Gently turn the head side to side. Maybe your hands rest on the floor. Maybe you have a block. Maybe you're grasping opposite elbows in your ragdoll. Again, a few breaths as we release the low back and stretch the whole back side of the body. Nice. We'll bring our hands to the floor. So bend your knees as much as you need to so that your hands can come to the floor. And then place your hands on your shins and lift halfway up to lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs, keep a little softness in the knees, that tummy. On the exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Now tuck the chin and roll up slowly. Think one vertebrae at a time as we come all the way up. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down, and find mountain pose. So standing at the top of our mat for mountain pose, arrange your joints. Knees on top of the ankles, hips on top of the knees, shoulders on top of the hips. Maybe for a moment just kind of move around and check to see how everything feels. And then let the body find its way into a neutral position where the body feels that essence of alert but not rigid. So tucking that tummy in, shoulders up, back, and down. Beautiful job. Let's inhale our hands high, and on our exhale, bring your hands behind your back for chest expansion, interlacing, reaching down, drawing your shoulder blades together on the back. So watch that we're not jutting our chin forward. Allow the ears just to hover over top of the shoulders. Good, and breathe. Now if it feels all right, bend your knees, bring your belly onto your thighs, lift your hips and drop your head, bent knee forward fold. Straightening the legs as much as is available to you, gently turning the head side to side. Good, bring the hands to the low back. Let's go ahead and bend the knees and come into chair pose from the bottom. Roll those shoulders back and away from the ears. lift the gaze, steady the breath. Tuck the tummy and inhale, rise up, and exhale, hands to your heart center. Awesome, let's do that again. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands behind the back, chest expansion, interlacing, opening the heart. Let those ears come over top of the shoulders, shoulder blades gently together. If and when you're ready, bend your knees, belly to your thighs, lift your hips, drop your head, forward fold. Gently move that head side to side. Noticing to what degree you can move your hands. Perhaps they're closer to your low back. Listen to your own body. Good. Bring your hands to your low back. Let's bend our knees, look forward. Chair pose, and then sweep those arms forward, roll those shoulders back and away from the ears, lift the gaze. Tuck the tummy, and on the inhale, rise up, and on the exhale, hands to our heart center. Awesome. Hands by your sides, mountain pose, the shoulders up, back, and down. Arrange everything from the bottom, so find your foundation, find the soles of your feet, four corners of your feet, stack your joints on top of each other, tuck that tummy in and up. And breathe. Allow the palms of the hands to face forward and the thumbs to gently move back. Sun salutations. Inhale, rising up tall. Exhale, forward fold, softening the knees. Inhale, hands on the shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's bend those knees. Step your right foot back, low lunge. Left foot back to downward facing dog. Now looking forward at your hands, inhale forward in your plank. It might be full, it might be modified. Bring your heart forward, hinge at the elbows, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift up to your cobra. On your exhale, let's come through child's pose. Hips back, curl the toes, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Exhale. Look at your hands, and again, walk your feet to meet your hands. Exhaling to your forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise to the top. A little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Good, and again. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at the hips. Soften the knees. Hands on the shins. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Left foot back. Low lunge. Right foot downward facing dog. Again, on your inhale, come forward in your plank. Bring the chest through the arms. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the forehead and the chest, cobra. Exhale through child's pose. Downward facing dog. Look at your hands. Walk or step forward. Forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Bending the knees, inhale, rising up. Little back bend. Exhaling, hands to our heart. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, softening, releasing. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold, bending the knees. Right foot back, low lunge. Left foot downward facing dog. Inhaling again in your plank. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, child's pose, downward facing dog. Looking at the hands and walking forward. And exhaling now, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Bending those knees, inhaling, rising up. Little back bend. Exhaling, hands to our heart. One last time. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, hinging at the hips. Forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Bend the knees. Left foot back. Right foot downward facing dog. Inhaling forward in your plank. Bring that chest forward. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale back. Curl the toes. Lift the knees. Downward facing dog. One last time. Look at the hands and walk. Or step forward. And then exhale and release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise to the top, little back bend. Hands to your heart. Hands by your sides. Come back to your mountain pose. So reestablish that foundation. Find the soles of your feet. Rise up from the soles of your feet through the crown of your head. Stack joint on top of joint for stability. Lift the shoulders up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let the hands face forward and the thumbs gently draw back. One more deep breath. Let that breath move up the front side of your body, drawing in, down the back side of your body, letting go. Awesome. Let's breathe together. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, releasing. Hands on the shins, flat back, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Right foot steps back, low lunge. From here, we're going to revolve our lunge. Right hand underneath your right shoulder. Bring your left hand onto your left hip. Lengthen your spine and then turn. And maybe lift that left hand up. So pressing down through the right hand, reaching up through the left hand. One more breath. Bring that left hand down to frame that front foot. Drop that right knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up. And today let's sweep that right arm back onto that right thigh. Reach the left fingers up and back. Open up through the front side of your body. Good. Inhale, sweep that right arm up. Exhale, frame that forward foot. We're going to shift back for our modified pyramid. Shifting that weight back, but gently drawing that heart forward. Good. Soften, bend that knee. Bring the hands to frame that front foot. Curl the toe, lift the knee. Step that left foot all the way back, downward facing dog. Once again, when you're ready, inhaling forward in your plank. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhale, lift up. Look forward. Exhale into your child's pose. Curl your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to meet your hands, forward fold. Release down and exhale. Hands in the shins, flat back and forward. Exhale, forward fold, bend those knees. Inhale, rise to the top, little back leg. Exhale, hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Establish your foundation. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Lengthen your spine. Find your breath. Let the breath move. Inhale up the front side of the body, drawing in. Exhale down the back side of the body, letting go. Breathe together. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Hands on the shins, inhale, forward. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Left foot steps back, low lunge. Coming into that revolved lunge. Left hand underneath our left shoulder. Right hand on our right hip, lengthen the spine, and then turn. Maybe that right arm lifts. So we press down, we reach up, we draw back with that right foot, we draw forward with the crown of our head. Good, just one more breath. On the exhale, right hand frames that forward foot. Let's bring that left knee down. Inhale up. Left arm reaches for that left thigh. Reach up and reach back. Little bit of a back bend. Good. Inhale. Exhale, framing that forward foot, shifting back, picking those toes up. Drawing that heart towards that thigh, stretch up that calf and hamstring, and breathe. Good, slowly roll out to the sole of that foot, curl the toe, lift the knee, stepping back, downward facing dog. Lift and lower those heels. Looking at your hands, inhaling forward. In your plank, exhale, lowering down. Good. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, back through child's pose. And once again, curling the toes, lifting the knees, downward facing dog. Looking at your hands, walking or stepping to the top of your mat for forward fold, releasing down, exhale. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees. Inhale, rise up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Top of your mat. Establish that foundation. Let the body breathe. Connect your breath with your body. Breathe together. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the shins, inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold, bend the knees. Right foot steps back, low lunge. From that low lunge, tucking that tummy in, using our core strength to lift us to high lunge. Inhale up and exhale down. Awesome. Inhale up, exhale, warrior two. So plant that back foot and extend the body forward and back, allowing the gaze to look forward past those middle fingers. Good, we're going to straighten that front leg, shift that right hip back, reach the left fingers forward, triangle pose. Breathe. Let's bring our right hand onto our hip, bend that left knee. We're going to walk our fingers to the long side of our mat for a standing straddle. So ease into this position, look for an inner thigh and a hamstring stretch. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe walk the hands in between the feet. Allow the crown of the head to reach towards the floor. And nice deep breaths here. Wonderful. Walk your hands forward, coming into half lift. Wrists right underneath the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. Soften the knees, heel toe in a tiny bit. Walk your fingers around that back foot. So framing that right foot, setting up for our high lunge. So nice foundation, tuck that tummy in, and inhale, rise up, and exhale, sink down. Beautiful. Inhale, and now exhale, warrior two. So arms at shoulder height, planting that back foot, reaching forward, reaching back. Softening that gaze. And when you're ready, straightening that front leg, shift the hips, reach the right fingers forward. Allow the hand to come to the shin. Left hand reaches to the sky. Triangle pose. Bringing that left hand onto the hip, bending that right knee. Again, walk the fingers to the long side of your mat. This time, walk the hands forward like you would for downward facing dog. Let the head fall down in between the biceps. Get that nice, beautiful back body stretch. Fill the body with breath. Nice, deep inhale, full and complete exhale. Good, and then slowly walk the hands back. Find your half lift. Shoulders away from the ears, tummy is tucked. Soften the knees, heel toe in a tiny bit. Walk the fingers around that left foot, back to your low lunge. Step the left foot to meet the right foot, downward facing dog. Let's bring the knees down. All the way back into your child's pose. Maybe this time, keeping the thighs together, belly resting on the thighs. Walk the hands forward. Let your head come down in between your biceps. And then let's walk the hands over to the right. So just exploring the left side body. Maybe stack that left hand on the right hand. Again, notice your neck. Notice your shoulders. Now, walk the hands all the way over to the left. Stack your left hand on top of your right hand. Find that stretch from your right hip to your right fingertips. And walk the hands all the way to center. And then walk your hands towards your knees. come up to a kneeling position. I'm going to stay turned to the side just for a moment more. So go ahead and sit back onto the heels. Find nice alignment in your body. Lift your shoulders up, release those shoulder blades down the back. And just sit down onto the heels as long as that feels okay for your knees. You know you can always prop up the hips to take some of the tension out of the knees. Looking for just a nice gentle quad stretch here this morning. Awesome. Feel much more ready and prepared and capable for the day ahead. We are almost done. All right, so we're going to stretch out those feet. Not always my favorite thing to do, but often quite necessary. So let's go ahead and shift forward and now curl the toes. So we want to curl those toes and then we want to bring our hips back on top of our heels. So our heels are nice and close together and we're kind of bringing our body weight into that stretch. So you should feel the stretch in your feet. We got a lot of stuff going on in our feet. A lot of bones and ligaments and muscles and tendons in our feet. Good. So while we're here, let's just take our arms across our body, reaching for opposite shoulders. Doesn't really matter which way you cross, just go ahead and cross your arms. And now I want you to take a couple of nice deep breaths. Again, thinking about your body like a vessel that flexes as it fills. So fill up and see how much flex you can bring into that vessel as you draw the breath into your body. Nice deep inhale. And a full and complete exhale. Good, just one more time like that. Think of a balloon if that's helpful. Inhaling, filling up that balloon. And exhaling and releasing. Awesome. Unwind the arms. And slowly shift forward. Ooh, and tap out the tops of those feet. Bring a little bit of sensation back to the tops of those feet. Awesome. So let's walk our hands back this time. Past our heels. Again, only if this feels good for the knees. Then lift the knees up to stretch the ankles. Lower that back down. Bring your hands over to one side. Drop down onto that hip. Sweep those legs forward. Before we do anything, let's wiggle out those toes a little bit more. Good. Fan those toes. Spread them out nice and wide. Awesome. Bring the soles of your feet together. Cobbler's pose, butterfly, bound angle. Lift the shoulders up, back and down, elbows to the inner thighs, and then just gently bring the body forward. And check out how that feels. So move, and again, tap into your own tuition. If it doesn't feel good, change it. Remember to be friendly to your body. Think about Goldilocks. Not too much, not too little, just right. Good. Keep the soles of your feet together. Slide your feet a little bit forward. Let your body fall down in between your thighs. Change up that stretch just a tiny bit. Awesome. Slowly come up, bend those knees in front, rest your hands on your shins, little cat and cow. Tuck the tailbone around the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift and open the chest. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Last time, inhale, lifting up and opening. And exhale, tucking and rounding. Awesome. All right, so we're going to prepare to come down onto our backs. We're going to go ahead and keep our strap handy for our three-way hip and hamstring. So easing down onto your mat, nice and slow. Good. Let's bring those knees into the chest for a moment. Tuck the chin to lengthen the neck. See if you can get your whole spine onto the mat, still considering neutral spine position. So relax the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the shoulder blades under the back. Hug the knees into the chest. And just gently move on your mat. Rocking and breathing. Making circles. Just gently side to side. Awesome. Okay, with those knees at 90 degrees, we're going to take the strap, we're going to wrap it around the balls of both feet, send those feet high to the sky. Again, shoulders away from the ears, chin towards the chest, neck nice and long. Holding onto that strap, take the legs out wide and then bend the knees for happy baby. So just supporting that stretch with the strap, opening the hips. You can always remain completely still. You could rock side to side. Really think about what feels good for yourself this morning. Good. Slowly slide those feet together. Bring that left foot down and keep that right foot lifted. Heel reaching up to the sky, toes dropping down to the shin. Good. Again, checking with those shoulder blades. They should be coming together on the back to support. Gently lifting the chest. You want to feel like the low back is down on the mat and the tummy is engaged, the core is engaged, belly button in and up. Good. So holding on to that strap. Now gently draw that leg forward for your hamstring stretch. Lift the heel up. Drop the toes down. Breathe. And take your time. We still have some time. Let's relax that a little bit and extend that left leg out. Rest the left hand on that top of that left hip bone. Gently take that right leg out to the side. So as soon as the left hip lifts off even a little bit, that's where you stay. Let's think of keeping those hips equally grounded. So feel equal pressure on both sides of your body on the mat. It's less important whether or not that right leg comes towards the floor. You want to focus on what's happening as far as movement in your hip. Good, let's gently bring that to center. Left hand on the strap now, right arm out to the side. We're going to begin to move just nice and slow. So starting to take that leg over now to the left side of our body, taking our time, exploring that stretch, breathing as we go, and then gently, if it's available, coming all the way onto that left hip and allowing the gaze to shift to our right hand. A few breaths here. Making sure that we have our core engaged, tucking that tummy in, inhaling, lifting up, all the way back to center. And let's switch sides. So left foot comes into the strap, right foot comes down onto the mat. And let's start with that hamstring stretch. So lift up, gently draw that forward. Be mindful to keep a little softness in that knee, keeping that left hip firmly on the mat as we guide that leg forward. Awesome. Breathing. Good. Let's relax that a little bit as we lengthen that right leg now. Right hand on the right hip bone. And gently and mindfully taking that leg off to the side. Again, bring your attention to the back side of your body and feel equal pressure on both sides. So we're not listing over to the left side. See if you can re-ground the right side of your body. Good. Again, making sure those core muscles are engaged. Gently bringing that leg to center. Right hand on the strap now. Left arm out to the side. Slowly, mindfully, intentionally stretching the IT band as we transition now over to the right side of our body. We keep breathing. And then if and when you're ready, shift your gaze to your left hand. Tuck that in, slowly draw that leg all the way back to center. Soften the knees, set that strap aside, bring the knees into the chest, gently rock side to side. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Think about if you want to spend some time in your recline bound angle, or if you want to extend the legs all the way out into your corpse pose. Find your way to your final relaxation. Allow yourself opportunity to close your eyes, to completely and fully integrate and absorb the work of your practice this morning. Steady your breath. Again, if at any time in your final relaxation you find yourself still somewhat distracted, simply reattach to your breath, trying to detach from your thoughts. Maybe a simple breathing pattern helps. So perhaps a 4-part breath. Noticing the inhale, noticing the pause at the top of the inhale, noticing the pause at the bottom of the exhale. Simply allowing yourself to remain focused just on your breathing. So I'm going to allow you to choose to stay however you like or however long you like in your final relaxation pose. If you like, you could join me in a simple cross-legged pose as we end our practice today. You might want to take a moment or two just to check back in with that intention, that purpose that you came to your mat with today. Remember, as we leave this space together today, to not hold on to too much of yesterday, as it can take up too much of today. Simply let that go and allow yourself to exist in this moment. Again, I thank you for joining me today. Let's take a breath together. Inhale up. Exhaling, hands to our heart center. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.